Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a Power BI report in less than 10 minutes, so let's go. So what I have right now is an Excel file that basically shows my spending in the month of May. So I have a few categories like food, car, rent, and also parents' allowance. And for a specific category, I have a particular description along with the amount spent and the date it was performed on. So that is under the spending sheet. So I have another separate sheet called the budget sheet. So this one is basically the budget that was allocated for a specific category for that month. Let's say, for example, for food, I've allocated a budget of $300 for May. So what I want to visualize in Power BI right now is to visualize things like, did I go over or under budget for a certain category, and also to basically visualize this into more meaningful visuals. So let's go to the Power BI desktop to visualize this. So once you've launched it from your desktop, so you want to go to Get Data and choose Excel. So I'm going to take the Excel sheet that I showed you just now. And Power BI is going to take some time to fetch it, and then you just click on the sheets that you want to work on. So in this case, I'll just pick the two sheets that I showed you just now and press load. Apply changes. Okay, once the data has successfully been imported, you're going to see that it's going to pop out under this fields pane. So you have the budget, and if you expand it, the data is right there. It's the same thing for the spending one. And if you hover over to the second pane, the data pane, you can see that the data has been extracted out from here. And then if you go over to the last pane, the model pane, you can see that an automatic relationship has been established between the two data sheets, because we have the same category for each sheet. In this case, for example, food, we have it on the budget sheet and also the spending sheet. So what Power BI has done is basically automatically link those data to each other. So it's going to make it easier for us to do the visual for under or over the budget. So this relationship I'm going to explain probably in a separate video. So now we can work on our visualization. So we will go to the report pane. So first, what I want to do is really illustrate the spending for the month of May in the form of a donut chart. So in this case, I'm just going to go to the visualization pane here and choose this donut chart. Click on it. Okay, and then I'll have this donut chart. I'm going to drag it down here and expand it a little bit. Okay, now if you see here, once you click on this visual, this empty boxes will pop out. So this would be the area where we would drag our data and for it to be visualized on that donut chart. So for here, under values, I would take the amount under spending and put it under values. As you can see now, the data starts to be visualized. And then under details, I am going to put category. And then for the legend, I'm going to put description. So just drag and put it under there. As you can see now, our donut chart has appropriately illustrated our spending for the month of May. So I have all these categories like subcategories like house, mom, maintenance, and everything. So it looks very nice, and it really outlines the spending that I had in an Excel sheet. But what if I wanted to narrow down to a particularly, one of the four big categories? Like, what if I just want to narrow down on food? So what I can do is use another visual called a slicer. So I'm just going to show you how the slicer does it. So I'm going to go to this slicer visual, click on it, Okay, then just gonna adjust its size a little bit and drag it down here. So click on it and you can see this empty field. So I'm just gonna drag the category into it. Okay, now if you can see it, I have the 4 main categories: car, food, parents, and also rent. So let's say I just want to view food, so I'm just gonna tick this checkbox, and voila, the visual has changed. So it's just gonna show all the transactions on food. And the same thing is gonna happen if I change to parents, car. So I'm just gonna drag this up here. So now if you remember just now we have the dates for the transactions. What if I want to track like for a particular period of time, like for example, how do I know how much I've spent for the middle of the month? So I can still use the same slicer visual, so but this time I'm gonna use the dates. So I'm just gonna click slicer once again and place it carefully up there. Okay, so then I'm just gonna take date and put it under the fields. So it comes out in this nice form of slicer. So let's say I want to view until the 15th of May. So I'm just gonna drag it until the 15th of May. And as you can see, the visual has changed accordingly. Okay, next what I'm going to do is to visualize uh, whether I overspend or underspend a particular category. So what I can do is use this gauge visual that I have right here. So this gauge, I'm gonna click on it and drag it down there and just make it a bit bigger in size. So I have these few fields that I need to fill in. So I have value, maximum value, and also target value. So for value, I'm just gonna take the amount spent and drag and put it in there. Okay, and for the target value, I'm just gonna utilize the budget that I have just now. So here it mistakenly reads it as count of budget. So just go to this drop down arrow and change it to sum. Okay, as you can see from this gauge, what it's trying to tell us is that for the month of May, I've actually spent $760 out of the 1,100 allocated budget for May. So this one is an overall view for the month of May spending. What if I want to focus it down to a specific category like food? So what I can do is that in this filters pane, I can utilize this in order to show a specific category. So what I can do is drag this category and park it under filters on this visual and put it in here. So as you can see, all these main categories have popped out like car, food, parents, and rent. So I can just tick any of the boxes. So let's say for example, food. So as you can see here, I've actually spent 150 US dollars against a allocated 300 USD budget for food. If I switch to car, it's gonna pop up the same information, 160 spent and 300 out of the $300 budget. So I can really much conclude for the month of May from these Power BI visuals that I've made that my spending has really gone under budget, which is a good thing. So that is basically the very basic Power BI use that you can do and in less than 10 minutes. So this is a very quick guide on how to do it. So in the future videos, I'm going to show you in more detailed, probably longer videos on how to do more meaningful Power BI visuals. So hopefully this video has been of information to you, and look forward to showing you more stuff in the next videos. Thank you.